Today we're going to look at the work of Takeshita Murakami. If we lived in Japan, I understand we would pronounce his name Murakami Takashi. His work is very bright and colorful. So we're going to look at two of the things that he creates in his images, flowers and his little faces. So we're going to start with an oval, and you're going to draw right along with me. And inside that oval, we're going to draw another, and we want another oval. We want to keep it kind of thin. See, it's not a big wide area. And we're going to turn these into a funny little character. We're going to add some kind of ears to it. And remember, we've done this before. We add sixes inside the ears, a forward one and a backward one. I think we did this when we did Grumpy Monkey and maybe some other projects. And then I like to imagine that this little guy is wearing some kind of hood, like, sweatshirts that are so popular now that, add things to your head and things like that. They turn you into things. So I'm going to turn mine into a bunny. So I'm going to add bunny ears to my imaginary hood. And then we're going to add one of those funny little faces that are so popular in manga, Japanese art now. So I'm going to add a shape here to make my mouth. I'm going to add him some teeth. And because it's in the nature of being kind of fun and silly, I'm going to add a tongue. And I'm going to add some tonsils as well. So those little areas that stick down at the back of our mouth. Put those in there. Now he needs some nostrils. And I'm going to add him some fancy little eyes. And these are very much in the style that I've seen in the work of Murakami. These funny little eyes with the little highlights to make it look like, the light is sparkling off the eyes. And I'm going to take just a few moments. This is the only coloring I'm going to do as we're together, but I want you to see the difference that it makes when I add some color into those eyes. So I am going to color in my eyes. I'm not going to do both of them right now, but you will see in our finished product that I've taken the time to color in both of those eyes. So they're both going to look something like that. Now he also dealt with flowers. So I'm going to add some big circles in my background that I'm going to turn into flowers. And these also have faces on them, generally, in his work. So I'm going to add those same type little eyes, some smiles. These eyes are going to be off the page a little bit, but that's all right. I'm going to make his mouth more like I did on the little guy. And a nice smiley mouth. Now, we talked about symmetry before. Today what we're going to do is radial symmetry. Radial symmetry I like to think of as being like the sun, the rays from the sun. So coming out from my flower on all sides, I'm going to add rays, like rays of the sun. But you'll notice I keep calling this a flower. It is a flower. So I'm going to, at the end of those rays, I'm going to add a curved line. And I'm using overlap. We know that word too. So I make sure that I do not draw on top of what I've already drawn. I show some overlap. So I'm going to add those radial lines to the other sun. And of course, part of it doesn't show because it's off the page. It's overlap too, And I'm going to add those end curves where I can see them on this flower. Again, still thinking about overlap. One more flower down here at the bottom. Nice long rays coming off of it. And connecting of those with that little curve again, so that it starts to look kind of like a flower. And of course, if there's overlap, they don't all show. Now, I don't want to leave a bunch of white space, so I am going to add in some smaller ones, more like smiley face flowers with the rays. They're not quite as large as the other flowers that are here. But I do want to fill up my page. So I'm going to add some more flowers. I'm going to put a small one in here. Like I probably could have put a large one in there as well, but I'm going to keep it small. As always, you take what I'm showing you, but you make it your own. So if yours is slightly different, it's not a mistake. It's fine. I'm going to add another much smaller one down here. I'm adding about 8 little rays there. Anything less than that doesn't really make your flower quite full enough. You want to add enough of those lines that it makes it full. And again, one more little one right over here. Whole thing's not going to show because of overlap. But again, I really want to fill up my spaces. So there we go. That's what our little drawing might look like. And then it's going to become extremely colorful. We want to add that color. Here's a finished one. And that's how we are learning about Murakami.